So, good morning, dancers of Novosibirsk. I'm delighted, I'm Jo Hardy, and I'm really delighted to be coming towards the end of September to Novosibirsk to bring this workshop, The Way of Change. I'm really grateful to Baskar and Arena for inviting me and for promoting this workshop in such a beautiful way. And so I've never been to Novosibirsk before. I was in Moscow last year with Alex in, what was it? I think it was June last year, bringing this same workshop to Moscow, and many people found it a deep and beautiful journey. So I'm hoping that, I'm sure that we will find a way together of doing that, of having a really deep and workshop that can touch our hearts and help us to really land more deeply in who we are. Because change is a feature of life, it's a fact of life. And it's this strange thing where we're in a dynamic process of constant change, a bit like the seasons and the natural world. I'm looking at this beautiful trees and landscape outside, and they're constantly in movement, constantly in change. And yet often so many parts of ourselves at the same time feel incredibly stuck, and like it's really hard to find a way with those stuck parts of ourselves. So we're going to be looking at that whole territory of change. And one of the things that I truly believe is incredibly important is that we build a new relationship with the process of change, and we build a new relationship with the parts of ourselves that get really stuck, that we then want to push away and block out, because that keeps us in a war with ourselves, and it's really uncreative. And for myself, I've known inner warfare with myself quite a lot, and I needed to really learn how to come into a better, more helpful, more creative, more compassionate relationship with all of the different parts of myself. So one of the things that we'll be looking at is, how do we come to our center, and what is center? Because if we imagine that we go into a situation where there's a lot going on, where there's maybe things that challenge us or push our buttons, it's like a kind of chaos, isn't it? It's like a kind of turbulent environment. And if we don't have some sense of ourselves, some sense of our core, some sense of our own boundary and who we are, then we just get completely infected by the intensity of the environment around us, and we get swept away like a little bottle on an ocean that's just pushed around wherever. So this sense of coming to a sense of knowing center is a really, really important aspect, not only of the way of change, but just to have a sense of integrity and alignment with our body, heart, mind, and to come back into a deeper sense of who we really are, who I am uniquely. So center is one of the things we'll be looking at. We'll also be looking at what often happens inside of ourselves, in the dynamic inside of ourselves, is we have what I often call a good self and a bad self. So there's the parts of myself that I've learned to find, how should I say, acceptable, or I'm happy with. And then there are those parts of myself that I try and push away, and I stay in this constant fight, which takes a tremendous amount of energy. So I'll give you an example. So I'm quite an angry person. I don't know why, maybe I inherited it from my father. And so, you know, I can get really angry about something. Let's say I'm angry about something that seems really unjust or unfair. And I get really sort of charged about it and fiery. And although it's got a lot of energy, which is in a way great, it's also very uncreative because it's not helpful to other people if I just go and get angry. So what often happens inside of myself is I go, oh no, I shouldn't have done that. I should be more calm. I should learn to really behave in a better way and not get so angry. But the trouble is when I do that, it really doesn't work. It just keeps me in this split between the good me that is supposedly calm and centered and the bad me that is angry and fiery and all of that. So we're going to be looking at this workshop. We're going to take examples from our own lives of little parts of ourselves that are fighting each other and ask a different question. Instead of asking, is this good and is that bad? We ask, so in this example, what's the purpose of my anger? Why is it there? What's the gold in that anger? What's the pearl inside of it? What's the life energy that's tied up inside that I want to reclaim? So if I look into my own anger, what I see is a deep sense of wanting fairness, of wanting to fight injustice. Now that's a quality I want to keep. That's a quality I want to have. So we are going to explore learning how to include all of these different parts of ourselves and find the gold and the pearls and the jewels inside of those energies. And our dance practice, freedom dance practice, is just the best way to help us really embody that, because it doesn't work just from the mind. We have to really come into the body, listen to where those different aspects of ourselves live, learn how to dance with those different energies, learn to let things in, learn to let things go. And so I'm really, as you can tell, I'm really excited about the subject. I won't go on. So we have many things to look at, and the whole territory of the workshop, the path or the way of change, is a rich exploration for our life. And I so much look forward to coming and to seeing you and dancing with you and diving deeply and holding us all through a journey so that we come out hopefully richer and deeper and more in touch with ourselves. So, see you soon.